Alright, so you're watching the best predictor in crypto, Crashes Clay here. Last video we predicted the Bitcoin pump. People are mind blown, shocked, and in disbelief that we were able to do that. But if you've been following for a while, it really should come as no surprise. So guys, I would be doing a massive injustice if I only called the pump and didn't call the dump. I believe a dump is coming very soon, and I'm going to show you why, how, where, and when in this video. It's going to be an in-depth analysis breaking down pretty much everything you need to know. I'm not going to give away all the details, all the secrets, and the exact entry points with my stop loss in this video. That's going to be saved for our alerts members who are in Crash Alerts. That's the first link down below this video if you want to join our alerts Telegram. We're going to be live alerting and telling everyone when I'm shorting, where's my stop loss, all that good stuff. So let's get into why I am so confident 25 to 26K was not the bottom, and why I think we're setting up for a dump to go back down there and lower. My big target right now is 22K. So let's get into it. How did we first off predict this pump 3 days ago? Because this is going to be key in understanding why we're so confident to actually predict this dump, right? And so it's not often you see someone who can actually be bullish and bearish, right? And go both ways, but make the switches and adjustments at the right time. So how did we call this pump here, even though overall we think we're heading way lower and we're overall very bearish? Well, it came down to this pattern that we see here, which is a mega dump into a big wick up. Mega dump into a big wick up. You went sideways slash lower for 2 weeks, sideways slash lower for 2 weeks, and then boom, you pump out of there. Boom, you pump out of there, right? So pretty cool that we're able to use this pattern and pretty much predict the future because of it. Because guys, once you understand price is a reflection of human reaction and emotion and the way people press buttons, buy and sell, and most people press buttons, right? Most people press buy or most people press sell because of their emotions, right? So if you have a big emotional dump, well, people are going to react the same whether it was back in November or whether it's over here in May, right? People react with emotion, and that reaction is reflected in the way that price moves. And so we had this big dump over here. We had this big dump over here. So guess what? People reacted very similarly here as they did back in November and December. And so what we can do is we can copy our friend's homework from December and November. We can literally draw this, boom, big dump, wick up, okay, come down here, settle low after 2 weeks of downwards price action, pump up to a high, okay, and here we go, continue our descent, right? So let's copy that homework. Let's bring it over here, guys. And you can see, I mean, it's pretty much spot on. Look at that, guys. It's almost identical, right? It's pretty amazing to see. And so what do you notice here, guys? Remember, you could not break lower here after 2 weeks, right? And what did you do? You pumped 14, 15%. Now, check this out, guys. How much have we pumped right now? Okay, we have pumped 14, 15% as well. So not only is the pattern identical, the actual magnitude of the pattern and the percentages of it is almost identical as well, which is pretty incredible. Another measurement I want to show you is from the wick low here, right, off that mega dump. If you measure the wick up to the top of the up move here, it was a 26% pump from the wick low to the top of the up move before it started downtrending. Okay, so right here, you measure from the wick up to the top of the up move, 24% pump. Guys, this is as close as you're going to get to finding a cheat sheet and a cheat code in the markets, which is pretty incredible. So you can see the pattern is spot on. The percentages and the magnitude of the movements is spot on. The way that people are reacting is almost identical, guys. I remember vividly back here in December, people like Alex Becker and everyone on Twitter were saying, once we get a clean breakthrough 46K, that's when I'm loading back up on alts. People like JRNY Crypto were saying this is a big cup and handle and we're about to break out for big altcoin season. And obviously, I went against the herd and the crowd of sheep, and obviously, I was right, as usual, like I think I'm about to be right yet again. Guys, I am the best predictor in crypto. That's not even being cocky, that's called being honest with you, and if you don't realize it yet, then you're going to realize it soon. So, look, we copied the homework and we understand, okay, that this dump very likely is coming to an end soon. And look, nothing is guaranteed, but that's as close to guaranteed as you can get in the freaking market, okay? And so when we copy that homework and we bring it over here, now I want to study some of the subtle clues and little factors that are going to help us be precise in nailing this dump and nailing the timing and nailing it overall, okay? So, look at some of the subtle clues I want you to see. We came right up to this purple line, and that was the top. What is that purple line? You'll know if you're in Crash Alerts, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to give away all my secrets in this video, but we came right up to this purple line, and boom, we dropped pretty much, right? So what am I looking for right now? Well, the closer we get to that purple line, the more identical it is to this setup from December, right? So that's one clue I'm looking at, is purple line. The closer we get to it, the better the entry is for me, right? So that's clue number one I'm looking at. Clue number two, guys, I want you to notice the RSI here. So let's actually delete this so you can see more clearly. As price was going down here, the RSI was going up. As price was going down here, the RSI was going up, right? You can see it's pretty freaking cool the way this is, like, literally it's just a copy. You're copying your friend's homework from December and you have the cheat sheet over here for May, okay? And so you have that breakout pump up to the purple line. You have that breakout pump almost to the purple line off the same exact pattern and setup. Now, what you notice next is that right here, guys, I mean, this is such a subtle little detail that 99.9999% of the people in the world are never going to notice. But you can see, guys, if we kind of zoom in here, okay, and this is such a small detail, but when we're trying to nail things precisely to the T, we need to look at the finer in smaller details. So look at this RSI right here. You can see it kind of peaks out twice, right? It has that one peak, tiny little dip in the RSI, comes back up on that second peak, and that was where you really wanted to enter in short, on that second peak of the RSI. So far in the RSI, we have seen it kind of peak out once. We have not seen the RSI dip at all. But basically, if you get a double top in the RSI, kind of like last time, right? Boom, that is another factor we want to see. That would just give us that much more confidence that the thing is repeating itself, right? So that's another factor I'm looking out for, is I want to see like a double top in the RSI like last time, guys, and that would just be the icing on top, right? That would really just put the nail in the coffin for me and give me that much more confidence, right? So, these are little details that people never look at. And people never see these patterns in the first place. Most people, when they look at this chart, all they see is a bunch of green and red candles, and most people would never even spot that this pattern is the exact same as last time. Most people wouldn't understand that the reason price moves is because, well, people press buy and sell. They click the button on their phone or on their computer, and most of the time they click a button on their computer because they're reacting to things emotionally. And so when people react to a dump emotionally over here, it's pretty much the same thing happening over here, right? And so we can abuse these things to our advantage. We can abuse and understand that psychology and understand the way people react is going to be very similar now as it was to there. Because I don't know if you remember this dump, which remember we called this dump to 47K. Holy moly, guys. If you watched that dump live, I remember it felt like the world was falling apart. It felt like nobody was ever going to buy Bitcoin again on these dumps. And that's what these dumps feel like, right? And so right now, right, we got this dump. That was the last time we got one of those crazy, crazy dumps where it literally, guys, if you were watching price on this day, you know what it felt like. It literally felt like no one was ever going to buy Bitcoin again, right? And so we react similarly to these kinds of events, and we see it repeating itself just like that last time that happened, okay? So these are some of the subtle details I'm looking at. The closer we get to my purple line, the better and the lower the risk of the entry is. Okay, and on top of that, if we get a double top, double little peak here in the RSI, I mean, it's just matching up so perfectly if we can get that, right? That's an extra confirming factor that's going to give me extra confidence in this pattern to repeat itself. And so that is why I believe by the end of this week, guys, okay, this pump is done. This pump is going to start its descent lower again by the end of this week. And what I want to show you right now, okay, is obviously you see these two factors, right? Factor number one, purple line. The closer we get to it, the lower the risk of the entry on the short side. Right here, double peak in the RSI, right? If we get a double peak in the RSI, I mean, it's just going to give you that much more confidence that things are playing out how we want to see, okay? But the next thing I want you to notice is that the stock market has went on an absolute tear here last week, and this week it's off to a slower start. But overall, if we know that stock market and Bitcoin are overall correlated, specifically we should really be looking at the NASDAQ more closely than the S&P 500 as it's more tightly correlated to Bitcoin. Okay, it's a great sign to me when you've already pumped massively, right? And so, look, in a bear market, when you've pumped, it's the best time to be looking at short. Okay, because bounces don't last in bear markets. And so just like in a bull market, you buy the dips, in bear markets, you short the bounces. And so since we've already bounced so big off the lows, okay, the probability that we're just going to keep soaring shrink, right? And so we understand that, hey, we may get a pullback here in the stock market. That's obviously going to add to the pressure on the Bitcoin short. Now, next thing I want you to see is the VIX. Okay, VIX is in a massive uptrend, and until that uptrend breaks, guys, we are still in a bear market. All right, and so right here, I want you to notice this uptrend line right here. Okay, I mean, we are pretty much almost at the very bottom of volatility, depending on how you look at the trend. And so when you understand that when volatility is going to the low end of its range, okay, then the market is very likely to fall, right? Because volatility, right, the VIX is an inverse to the stock market. So if VIX goes up, that means Bitcoin, crypto, stock market is dropping. When VIX goes down, it means the market's probably going up, right? And so right now, VIX has been going down, but where is it going down to? It's going right down into support. And as VIX reaches support, the probabilities that it's going to rise and break out increase sharply, right? You go from here to the bottom of support. Look at this. Boom, VIX pumps. You go to the bottom of support, boom, VIX pumps. You go to the bottom of support, boom, VIX pumps, right? And so you understand that as VIX approaches support, that is not the time to be bullish on the market, and VIX is exactly that, extremely close to support, depending on how you view the trend here. So that is the next major thing to consider. Now, let's look at the US dollar index, which has went down sharply in the last couple weeks, right? And so you got to realize what's in a bull market, the US dollar. What's in a bear market, equities, Bitcoin. Okay, and so just like in the bull market for Bitcoin, you would buy the dip, right? Well, what you got to realize is it's a bull market for the dollar. Okay, now it's been a while since we've seen the bull market here for Bitcoin, right? But you got to realize you used to buy the dip on the way up in Bitcoin. It's the same thing with the dollar now. It's in an uptrend, and now that the dollar is dipped, guys, this is not the time to be overly bearish on the dollar. Okay, it's in an uptrend. Okay? This is a bull market for the dollar. So you actually, when the dollar is now dropped in a bull market for the dollar, okay, then it just has an increased probability that the dip will be bought in the dollar, right? And that the dollar will actually go higher soon, right? So, the dollar, in my opinion, has a good chance to reverse higher soon. VIX is right near support, and overall, the pattern is right there, right? So it's not just the pattern. It's actually looking at the stock market. It's on a massive run-up, but guess what? That massive run-up is in a bear market, and then VIX is approaching the bottom of its range, while, dollar has gotten a nice pullback, which is going to be a great time for it to continue the uptrend most likely, and then that's obviously inversely bad for the markets. Okay, so these are all the things I'm looking at, and so I love what I'm seeing in the US dollar. It's pulled back, which to me signals that, hey, it's reset and it can freshly get going back up to the upside soon. Okay, the VIX, at the bottom of the range. Don't mess with the VIX when it's at the bottom of the range, especially in a bear market, because as long as that VIX is uptrending, this bear market is not over. Now, I want you to notice something about the VIX, guys. Okay, bear markets typically end when VIX spikes out to 50. Okay, so if we actually go to the quarterly time frame, okay, the bear markets usually end when VIX spikes to minimum 40, but a lot of times 50, right, or 80, or 50 plus is like where that's where you really want to buy the dip, is when it gets so bad and VIX goes to that height, right? So for example, here in 2008, 2009 crisis, look at that. Right, VIX went to 80, okay, and then over here in the COVID dip, VIX went to 85, right? So like, for example, if you see VIX get up that high, okay, that's when the worst is probably done, okay? That's when you really want to get aggressive and buy the fear. Right now, you don't necessarily want to buy the fear when VIX hasn't came all the way up to the 80s yet, or at least 50, right? I mean, you can see 50 is a really good rejection point where the market usually finds a bottom. Okay, but we're not there yet, guys. We're not even at 50. So typically, volatility, when the crash is over, volatility is going to be anywhere between 50 and 80. And right now we're at 26, guys. We're 100% off from where typically market bottoms would happen. So you can see that that's a fact, not a story. And so as everyone makes up stories about this or that, the charts tell you the facts, and if you focus on the facts, you're going to be a lot more effective. So to me, volatility doesn't signal a bottom at all, and we have a lot of upside, especially when you consider volatility continues to uptrend here, and in my opinion, until that trend breaks, it's going to remain a bear market, guys. If volatility can break the uptrend, then maybe we can talk about the bear market being over. But for now, this looks like an incredibly dangerous setup in the VIX for me. And that's why you do not want to be bullish when the VIX is at the bottom of support here in an uptrend. So a lot of people are so clueless, guys. They're going to be chasing the pump when VIX is at the bottom. Like, oh my God, the amount of stupidity. People really need to take the Crash Trading Charts course to understand these correlations and actually tie them all in together, because it's great to see the pattern here. I mean, it's amazing, right? Like, that is so satisfying to see what 99.99999% of people don't see. But it's even more satisfying when you have your correlations backing up your chart analysis. And so let's go and let's look a little further. If you draw a downtrend right here from that 48K peak, look where that gets you, guys. That resistance is literally where we circled here, okay, and where we drew the pattern. And so that would be right around the purple line, right where we drew the circle, and that would, if you see a double peak in the RSI, oh my God, guys, this is a God plan. This is a master setup. This is a masterpiece in the making here. And so that is exactly why I think this pump is coming to an end, and you better enjoy it while it lasts. You better prepare for the dump, because I think it's coming, and I think it's coming very, very soon. By the end of this week, this pump will be over, and that's my prediction, guys. So I hope this video helps you, and I hope you're ready, because we definitely are here at Crash Trading. If you found this analysis useful, helpful, and you think it's going to save you a lot of money, make you a lot of money, make sure you subscribe right now to this channel. And most importantly, if you want to get in on this crash and profit with us, guys, Crash Alerts is the first link down below this video to join. I show you every single trade I take, wins and losses, every single trade, guys, okay? And so, the big weeks, they come around. And the key is you don't want to miss the big weeks, okay? For example, right, when we just nailed the short over here, right here, we shorted at 43K. We made $50,000 on this short. Then we shorted right here at 41K, guys. We made $96,000 on that short. So this was a masterpiece. This was a masterpiece. I believe we're coming for another masterpiece here soon. But guys, if you try to do this on your own, the truth is you're probably going to have a lot of emotions. You may play too high leverage, too low leverage. You're going to, probably make a lot of mistakes. And so the easiest way to avoid making those stupid mistakes and make sure you actually profit on this, guys, is that you click the first link down below this video. join the Crash Alerts Telegram and get the live alert that I'm going to send out when and exactly and where I short it. Okay, so what does an alert look like in Crash Alerts? It looks something like this. I'll send out Sol short, entry 1, entry 2, entry 3, stop loss. And I'm setting these limit orders and I'm going to sleep, right? That's kind of what an alert looks like, and then I provide commentary, okay? So if you're interested, first link down below this video to join. And guys, oh, this is going to be beautiful, I think. So do not bet against me. I am the best predictor in crypto. I am your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. And if people don't realize it right now, they will soon. So rest in peace to Polly Slime here. He told me, we ain't going lower than 26K. You were given a gift already. If you didn't buy Bitcoin at support, then you deserve to miss out. But that guy and all the people who disagree with me, I'm telling you, you got an 80% chance you're going to be wrong, and there's an 80% chance that I'm going to be right. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and that is my master plan and game plan here. Guys, I'll see you on the next video. Follow me on Twitter if you're not already, and join the alerts if you're ready to profit and nail this mega dump that I think is coming. All right, guys, there's a lot of secrets and details that I didn't share in this video, like, for example, on the shorter time frames, the exact spot I'm looking to short. But what I can say, okay, is I believe you see this candle on December the 24th. That's where I think we are right now. So I think within 3 days, pretty much, by the end of this week for sure, okay, the pump will be over and we'll begin our descent lower. So you can say we're right here. And I think we could have a couple more days overall up here before we start to descend. Okay, so we'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. I can only be right so many freaking times, guys. But to summarize this in-depth analysis into a few sentences, I'm expecting a 33% dump here, down to 22K, and I think it's coming very soon. So I hope this video prepared you, and I hope you see why I see what I see, why I'm so confident in what I see, and why I've created a master plan for it, and why I think I'm probably going to make over $100,000 on my blueprint and game plan here. So guys, you know, I've laid out pretty much the blueprint and game plan here, but to get the exact entries, the exact specifics, the exact timing, you ought to join the Crash Alerts Telegram group, okay? Our last 100K week was over here, week 15. That was about 4 weeks ago, where we nailed this short right here. Okay, so I believe this is another high caliber opportunity just like that. So I'm really confident now. It just comes down to trading it. And that's the thing, guys. Predicting the market is so much easier than it is to trade the market, okay? Because when you trade the market, there's a lot of variables you have to deal with outside of predicting, right? Like, for example, when you put on a trade, you have a stop loss, or you have a liquidation price, or you have leverage, or you have timing issues. Like, there's so many things where you can completely predict the market and you can still fuck up the trade part of it, okay? And that's the tough thing, guys, is, you know, like I said, I called this pump, and I should have made over $50,000 on that pump. Instead, I only made $3,000 on that pump. Like, that's pretty pathetic, right? So I executed poorly on my prediction here for this pump. Okay, now once again, there's so many factors, so many reasons I can tell you why I underperformed relative to my prediction. Part of it is, look at this chart, dude. You think I'm very excited to go long in this chart? Not really, dude. I prefer to short when the chart looks like this, right? So it's, you know, for example, even if you predict a pump, it doesn't mean you're going to be incredibly confident to put the same position size that you would on a short, right? Two, the trade happened on a weekend, and the market moves so slow on the weekend. So there's like I said, there's a million factors that can ruin your trade, even though you can predict it 100% accurately. And that's why it's so important that, you know, even if you're in here watching this video, you took the time to watch it all, it doesn't mean you're going to nail it perfectly. And so, you know, it's hard, guys. You know, that's why I always say predicting is easy, trading is a whole lot harder. But I think if there's anyone who can trade this shit, it's me. Okay, $50,000 profit right here on this short, $96,000 profit on this short, and I think this is the one that's going to also make over 100K. So that's what I'm prepared for. I mean, that's literally what I do is prepare for these opportunities. You only need a few of them in a year, and honestly, the rest of the days of the year should be taken off. Okay, so I'm hoping I can nail it. You know, the trade part, right? I'm way more confident in my prediction than I am to trade it, because like I said, trading's the hard part. So, you know, let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted to short at 34.1, or for example, right? And so let's say you have a limit order at 34,100, but it only goes to 33,900. And now, right, let's say it's at 33,900, and guess what? Let's say it's dipping down to 32,700. And so here you were patiently waiting for it to hit 34,100, but now it's already dipping 1,000 points, and you're like, oh shit, no, it's gonna dump without me. As soon as you short, right? Because you think, oh my god, I'm going to miss it. I missed it by, my limit order was off by 100, 200 points. As soon as you short, boom, that's when it's actually going to go up to the entry you wanted. And now you're actually losing money on the entry that you wanted to get. And so now, even though you're going to be completely right on the prediction, you're actually losing money. And it was very unfortunate because your initial limit order was like maybe 100, 200 points off. So now you short a little bit lower than the peak of where you wanted to short. Let's say you called the peak to the dot, but you missed it barely, then you short when it dips, and then it goes down up there. There's so many ways to fuck up the trade. It's really tough, guys. Okay, so hopefully I can make that job easier for you in Crash Alerts, because, like I said, this shit is hard. All right, and if there's someone who's got the best chance to truly nail it, it's me, because I've done it time and time again, and I really hope I can help our members, crash traders, and everyone who watches a lot of money. That's my goal, and that's my plan. So let's do it, guys. Let's try our best. We're not perfect, but we got a beautiful, beautiful plan here, and I hope it brings huge, huge profits to everybody here at Crash Trading, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.